Hi everyone, thanks for watching my Module 6 Capstone project. I did my activity on osmosis. I work in a K to 6 building, so this could be primary and intermediate. I work with special needs students, so I would use a variety based on their student needs. So just an overview of the activities, students are going to study and illustrate the process of osmosis using gummy bears and various liquids. The students would actually get to pick what liquids they wanted to use, so they could pick regular tap water, vinegar, salt water, water with baking soda in it, Coca-Cola, whatever they would like. They would have to pick three, and then students would work in small groups to create, plan, and observe the osmosis effect using the sheet that I created in a couple slides, and they would examine the effect that the liquid had on the gummy bears. And this would have to be over a 2-day span, if not longer, because the gummy bear would have to sit for 24 hours. So then after the class and the group would discuss sort of what their findings were to deepen their understanding. How it aligns with STEM practices is it's very integrated in all the areas of STEM. So obviously science, talking about the osmosis effect, technology, researching prior, engineering, designing those different environments for the gummy bears, and then math, recording, and measuring. It also touches on the inquiry continuum. It's very student self-directed. Learners are engaged in asking their own questions. Um, Explaining how it adheres to inquiry in general. It's very hands-on. Students at the center of their learning process. They're collaborating with peers and their teacher, and it has a lot of problem solving and critical thinking skills. So you can see here, when I did this experiment, I chose the liquids, regular tap water, red vinegar, and salt water. And these were the gummy bears, their size before sitting in the liquid for 24 hours. And then you can see the results here. So I put a gummy bear, a normal gummy bear, to the left-hand side. So you can see how the water um, enlarged that gummy bear. Same with the red wine vinegar. And I would actually say that this bear was a little bit larger than what the picture's depicting. And then the salt water, it actually appears to be a little bit smaller. So I would ask students, what do you think's going on? Why do you think this is occurring? Again, I would probably do this more as a beginning of the osmosis unit, just to kind of get the students engaged in what's going on. And trying to get them to understand even what osmosis is, how it's the movement of water from higher concentration to lower concentration through that semi-permeable membrane. So this would kind of get those gears moving and asking those questions to themselves and creating their own questions. So you can see the worksheet that I created here. I had the students coming up with their own hypothesis. This is just a really great way for them to get out their inquiry learning and kind of walk them through the scientific process. I did a lot of accommodating on this sheet. So again, I work with special needs students, so doing a lot of fill in the blank. They have to see what materials they picked out, drawing pictures of before, measuring before the gummy bears, and then observing what they looks like after. And you can see that it kind of continues there. And then they have to re-record the measurements of the size of the gummy bears, so looking at that as well. And then again, the results there. So it's very walks them through that process, which I think is really important throughout the experiment. And then I created this handout, which would then go in their scientific notebooks and just explaining what osmosis actually is, what's occurring, what happened to those gummy bears, what's actually happening, and then linking that to the real world, relating it to plants. So I would do this unit after I did my plant unit, and how we just created and grew plants from seeds. And so relating that osmosis effect to the plants, I think would really help the students make those real world connections and have everything kind of come full circle. And then they would have this worksheet in their workbook so that this could be something that they would take home with their parents. I put a helpful YouTube link on to share with families. So I think this would be really awesome for students at the elementary level. Thanks for listening.